What's up, y'all? It's your boy Josiah Kenty, man, with Flip the Culture, where the culture won't change until we do. I got Coach Sledge with us today, man. How you doing, Coach?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey, we gonna, oh, man. Bro, like, I think last time I saw you was at my book signing at Parker, and I appreciate you for, like, helping orchestrate that with MDF Nation. Parker has a very interesting place inside my heart.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Because I went to Ramsey. And it's
rivalry.
Hey man, it's all love though, because we're all Birmingham City schools and everything like that. So
right.
I appreciate you so much while you were serving inside that position, being able to give back to just the greater good of just Birmingham, because the historical background of Parker was that it was the first
Black
historical high school in the nation.
Yep.
So yeah, that meant a lot to me during that time. So I appreciate you. We're gonna get right into it.
Okay.
All right, Coach. You ready for the first question?
Yeah, I'm ready. Come on, bring it.
All right. So we're dealing with identity through coaching, okay?
Right.
Because my platform is geared towards athletes, but who gets them prepared, right? Coaches serve as the catalyst of being that father figure, that mother figure in your case, right? You're creating an atmosphere for athletes to take hold of what structure looks like, even though they may not come from it. So I know there's a different dynamic when it comes to coaching. So you've built a strong legacy during your tenure as a coach.
Right.
Okay. And can you take us back to the beginning? What called you to coaching? What vision did you have for yourself and also for your players?
Well, back to the beginning, I would have to go back all the way till probably 2010. I was currently in college at UAB, and back then I always knew I wanted to coach. I've been knowing I wanted to be a coach since I was on the court playing basketball. My dad grew up playing basketball. I come from a family of just athletes in basketball. Like the first goal that I played basketball on was the wood nailed to the tree, and it was nothing but rim. It was no net, no net, and we played like the surface was dirt. Like that's what I grew up playing on. But just going back to the beginning and just being given the opportunity to coach. I went to my professor, Dr. Sims, and she put me out there. I put myself out there. I was doing field experience for school, and my first coaching experience actually came when I was at Berry Middle School.
Wow.
And of course, Mike Chase, who's not at Spain Park anymore, he's at Orange Beach. He was the high school coach, and he gave me an opportunity. Erin Hefner, God bless her soul, she's passed away, but she gave me an opportunity. Dr. Whedon, the principals, they gave me an opportunity to get my foot in the door. And I went in, and I didn't even want pay. I didn't want pay. I just wanted to coach. That's all I wanted to do. I wanted to coach. I wanted to give back. I didn't care what color the kid was. Starting out at Berry, I had a lot of African American people to ask me, well, why do you want to come coach on this side of town? I didn't see color. I just saw that, hey, basketball is going to come with all types of culture. You're going to play all types of culture of kids. It doesn't matter, like, what side of town you come on. Can you compete?
Right.
Do you have what it takes? And Berry was a great opportunity for me. Sarah Barker, S.A. is what we called her. She played with me for 1 year, and she moved on up with Coach Chase, and now she's playing in the WNBA.
Wow.
And, all praise to God for Sarah Barker, and kudos to Coach Chase, because, he put in a lot of hard work. I give him all that credit. I ran his system, I ran some of mine a little bit, but overall, it was a great opportunity. I learned a lot from being over there with Coach Chase in that program, and my dad always told me, no matter where I go, no matter what job I have, always learn something new. Like whatever if you don't know something, like don't shy away from it. Learn something new so you can, carry it on. And that's what I did with my coaching. Like I probably can do stuff that an athletic director I know, or even a dean. Like, I'm really good, detailed, organized type person. And from there, I had various schools that I went to and had much success, from Berry to Calera to Irondale, where I won the county over there, and I was up under Coach Hunter, who just retired from Hewitt Trussville. Awesome coach. Just I learned a lot from her. I just been up under a lot of good coaches. Coach Jackson at Ramsey, Pop Jack, was with him for 1 year before I actually took over the job at Parker. And just a great experience with actually being able to be down at the Legacy on that court to witness and see what hard training, what real leadership is from the head down, just seeing what it takes.
Right.
That's basically like the beginning of it all. Irwin Middle School was my first teaching job, but overall it's been a great ride. I got a lot of knowledge in this brain.
Yeah.
I got a lot of knowledge
Yeah,
that
man.
it's just ready to just come out. I got a lot going on up there.
So I know we got a mutual connection, which is Coach O, right? And I know he always gives like these analogies. I used to love when this man used to talk during our workout, because for one, it was a break.
Yeah,
like
you
know,
get a chance to breathe,
bro. Keep talking, bro. Keep preaching. You know what I'm saying? I may be listening at one time, I may not. I may be fighting for my life. But I remember this one thing he said was that when you're a sponge, and you put yourself inside of an environment where you soak up stuff, right? And hearing your story about being inside the environment around great coaches, great programs, right? Being up on the leadership. Whatever you soak up in those environments, when it's time and you start getting full and it's time to pour out, whatever you squeeze, and when it's time to squeeze, whatever is inside of you is going to start coming out, right? And everybody around you is going to be affected from it, and they're sponges as well. So whatever you pour out, their sponge is going to soak up what you have, right? So it's a never-ending cycle of soaking up information. Fun fact, when I was teaching, all right?
Okay.
I said it was almost impossible for water not to be recycled on this earth, or any type of liquid. Like, there's no liquid that goes to waste. And my students like, what are you talking about? I'm like, bro, we're drinking literally the same water as dinosaurs could have been drinking thousands of years ago. It's just purified. It shows up in different ways. So even when you go to the restroom, it goes out to the filtering system, and it travels in there, and then it comes back up. It shows back up, right? So there's things that you've poured into your athletes that's going to show back up 10 years from now, 12 years from now. When we talk about culture, the identity of those athletes, there's a fight. Because they go home and then they see you for a couple of hours a day. They go home to that environment, right? So their sponge is exposed to a lot of things.
Right.
What do you hope that your athletes, when they encounter you, what do you think, or what do you hope is going to be squeezed out of them 10 years from now?
Ooh. One thing first that I would hope is that, number one, that they build a true relationship with God. And when I say that, it's not going to be perfect, but it's when you're striving to be the best that you can be, that's pleasing to Him. That's one thing. And out of all those people, and I know there's a lot of more people that have poured into me, one thing I can say about all of those coaches is the fact that they were true servants. They were true servants. They knew how to serve others. And that's what drew me into, because I'm a servant too. And I can go down a list of things that I have done and all the money I've spent and all that, but it's not about that. It's about me being a servant and teaching them how to be servants, because one day they are going to have to serve. They're going to have to learn how to not just be takers, but how to pour into someone else, because someone took the time to pour into them as well. And I just hope that I love them to death. Love every last one of them, whether the situation was good or bad, because that's the type of person that I was brought up to be in my household. And I just wish that as far as life lessons, that they never take anything for granted, that they seize every moment, that they really live life to where it's a good life and just not just, burning bridges over here or leaving places the wrong way. I was always taught you leave places the right way, no matter how you feel, no matter, what you may think, you always leave on a good note, because at the end of the day, you have to carry that in your heart.
Right.
And, you don't want any regrets. So those are really the main things.
Got you. So you said that we could talk about the highlights, right? We can talk about all the wins. We have all these different things. And when you go on people's Facebook pages, Instagram, you got whatever school you're associated with. Hey, great win, coach, da, 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 da. And then it's silent throughout the week. Next game happens. If you win, you got the exciting post, right?
But not to cut you off, you know what's so funny? You say that. I didn't take the job at Parker to get wins, to tack on wins. I took the job at Parker because I know God sent me there.
Right.
And I know going in that Parker program, girls basketball, needed something much more greater and bigger than wins. They didn't need, those girls, they don't need wins. Yeah, it feels good, it looks good, but after it's all over and after it's all said and done, those wins are just going to be sitting there. But what are they going to have to carry with them after the 4 years are gone and they're out in the real world?
Yeah.
Like, those wins are not going to do anything for you. I mean, same thing for me. It might look good on my resume, but as a person, you identify people by the fruit that the fruit that they bear. Like, we can look at Coach O and everybody that's around Coach O and MDF, and they carry good fruit. They bear good fruit by the labor. By the labor.
So let's talk about the labor, right?
Yeah.
Like, you might see that Facebook post, got to win championship, but there's dead time throughout those posts, right? You might get one this week, might be silent next week. So during those times, like, when things not being highlighted, work is still being done.
Yeah.
Right? So take us through some of the behind the scenes initiatives, programming that you do as a coach to factor their mental and also like their spirit.
Man. Whew. Well, recently, before school ended, before the basketball season ended, we were heavily involved in FCA.
Okay.
And I had a FCA person, Pastor Jackie and Pastor Jackie and Pastor Aubrey. They came in and they were doing sessions with the young ladies as well as us with the coaches, and just trying to get that that Bible study in with them, to get them to understand how you can study the Bible, the Christians Fellowship Athletes Bible, and you can relate it to basketball on and off the court at the same time.
Right.
So that aspect of FCA, I'm praying that it did what it was supposed to do, because it was needed. It was needed. Just on a daily basis, just being the head coach. I mean, your planning never stops. Like, I probably get like, the season is over for some people in February. Like, if you don't go further on into the legacy of the Final Four or whatever, your season is over in February. So I'm planning then.
Yeah.
I'm coming up with who could possibly be on the schedule, what tournaments I want to do, what classics I want to do, what team camps, what play dates. I get that done first. And while that's going on, of course, they get a little break from workouts, which they gonna want it, because nothing is mandatory. Nothing is mandatory for them. But if you want it, you want it.
Right.
Even if it's not mandatory, you gonna be in the gym if you really want it. But just the planning with all that stuff. What else? You got team camps, you got play dates. You still have to set up the end of the year team stuff that you might want to do with your teams. You want to have your individual meetings with each athlete to kind of sit down and talk to them and go over like a little eval with them on, you know, some things that they need to work on, do better for the upcoming season, or just really have an end of the year talk with them just on a coach athletes. You know, situation type thing.
Yeah.
Which I hate I really didn't get to do that. But I still have a relationship with all of those girls just recently that I was at Parker with, and the ones that I don't, hey, they know I love them. Despite it's still all love.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, life goes on. You know, life has to go on. They're gonna get older. That ball is gonna stop bouncing for some of them, and they're gonna have to decide how they want to navigate throughout life.
Yeah.
And you know, hopefully they take the right path to do that.
And I say this from perspective as a former student athlete. There's a lot of teachers and also coaches that I didn't have a strong relationship with in high school.
Right.
But as I got older,
Yeah.
things started reconnecting, right?
Yeah.
And things wouldn't have been able to reconnect if a bridge would have been burnt from either way. So even though I know the coach might have not seen me be as attached to him or her while, you know what I'm saying, I was in high school as my other players were, the impact was still made and I was able to still be developed. So as you're, and when I talk about the impact, there had to be some grace there. And it's so difficult.
It was an overflow.
It's so difficult when you're pushing towards excellence, and then you have grace, right? And there was a saying when I was teaching where it was like, okay, are you gonna discipline them to punish, or are you disciplining them to correct, right? So it's like, where is the cutoff point? So for you, especially with dealing with young women, because it's definitely a difference between coaching young men and young women.
Yep.
What are some of the things that you've seen where you've had to make that tough decision whether you're going to show grace or you were going to actually correct?
Well, I'll say it depends on the situation. And for example, hey, but everything is in a contract. So you read it, you see it, your parents read it, and
hold on,
a contract.
They sign contracts in high school?
Yeah, for me, yeah.
Why?
Because you might have, you gotta dot your I's and cross your T's, and that contract is nothing but a commitment contract to saying that, hey, you signed up to be a basketball player. This is what you've told me, your dreams, what your plans are. Hey, everything is gonna be on this paper. And if you don't follow the rules on it, then hey, this is what is consequences.
Yeah.
So just say, for instance, you miss practice or you miss several practices. It's gonna be some type of makeup, like me and Coach O always said. Just like if you miss school, your schoolwork, or you miss a test, what you gonna have to do?
Make it up.
You're gonna have to make up that. You have to make up the test, right? So if you miss practice, everybody else is in the gym running and working out. Do you as an athlete feel like you should be entitled to not do the running or not do the work, and you can just pop up 2-3 days later and just come in and just jump back on the floor and possibly think that you're going to play in front of somebody else that's already been there? Or as a athlete, you should want to hold yourself accountable and say, hey, coach, even to your teammates, hey, ladies, I missed practice. That was on me. I'm going to get in here and I'm going to do my work, and I'm going to be back out there with y'all. And that contract not only holds me accountable, it holds them accountable as well, and their parents, because everybody has to be on the same page. Because when you don't have it in place, And all schools probably don't have it, but in my case, I felt the need to have it because if not, you'll have a whole bunch of chaos.
Yeah.
And which it was at times, and you'll have people pulling over here, talking over here. You'll have a lot of stuff going on. And you really want to make sure that you put out there what's needed, what's necessary.
So did you go into that position with that idea to do it, or something happened to where it's like, you know what, I need to hold these girls accountable?
Nope. Every school that I have coached at, I've always had a parent athlete contract.
So where did that idea come from?
I had one in high school. My coach held us accountable. We had one. Our parents had to sign it. It just had all the information, all the questions that you would think that a parent would want to ask about. What if I have a doctor's appointment? Or, and one of the most important things on there, well, two of them. There's a lot of them that was on there. I wish I could have brought one of them. The order of how things operate when an athlete has a problem or issue with a coach or with coaches or with a teammate. You don't just run to the principal or to the AD or anybody in the streets. You go to coach, player. Then if it doesn't get resolved, then you go a step further. It's coach, parent, player. Then you go on up the ladder to the AD, and then the principal is the last result.
That's what I was getting at.
Yeah.
It's a chain of command.
It's a chain of command. Everything has a proper order.
And you're teaching these girls that, like, this is something that they're going to be faced with on their jobs.
Yeah, because on a real job,
on
a real job, wherever they work, you just can't go to the CEO.
You might not even have his number.
You might not have his number. You can't go to the CEO. It's with anything. It's even when kids or adults get in trouble and they have to go to court. You just don't bypass seeing the judge and going over the judge or whoever. You don't bypass all that.
Right.
It's a chain of command. Everything is about order. Everything's about order.
It's good, and I flip the culture.
And it's not to be put out there as something bad. It's just all my friends, they say you're so detailed. But I'm just like that. I try to be as detailed and as transparent as possible.
So do you allow your players to have any freedom when playing? Meaning that, when somebody hears like a coach is very detailed and doing all this, when you get that baller, right? Like you like, hey.
Man, I'm probably one of I wouldn't say the only coach in Birmingham, but when you talking about freedom with playing, I done put 7th and 8th graders out on the court. Just to give them that experience. I may have known that we weren't gonna win the game. But just to give them an opportunity of what it feels like to play on a 6A level of basketball. Like, I'm so open with that. Like I used to say all the time, why should I have to tell you to shoot the ball? Like, you should shoot. The only thing I have a problem with is when you shoot, don't just be standing there watching the ball and you not getting back on defense. Like, get back on defense. Cause I'm a defensive coach. If you can't give me defense, you won't see the court. Like, I mean, it matters.
So when you talk about like flip the culture, right? We like to talk about transition, and the transition that we're talking about is when you are faced with looking yourself in the mirror and realizing that your current you can no longer serve the purpose of who you're supposed to become.
Ooh,
right?
That's good.
So can you share a personal moment as a coach where it's like, dang, the current me, the girls ain't accepting it. This is a different cohort of coaches, teachers I got to interact with. Like, is there a moment in your coaching career where you said, man, I'm going to have to be the one to change, not these players?
I'm going to have to be the one to change,
Not the players.
not the players. Yeah, I've had several moments like that. Example, a lot of the girls that I coach, they struggled with workout. Coach, oh, he tough.
Yeah.
It's gonna be, Coach, oh, you gotta go through the pain. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be, times where you're just not gonna want to do it. But at the end of the day, one thing I respect Coach O for is the fact that he always found a meeting point to where we all sit down and we say, hey, we're gonna meet them halfway. You know, we're gonna give them a little break. We're gonna meet them halfway. But they can't come in and take over the workout and the practice. Like you talked about grace earlier, it was a lot of grace given during different situations. Um, even with bringing FCA in, it was stuff that I personally can't talk to them about, so I had to bring FCA in. The wins and the losses and all that, yeah, that's good, but in order for you to know what it really needs, you have to build relationships and know each one of those players. And each one of those players that ever walked up in the gym with me, I know them. Like I know them. And they kids. They gonna be kids. Kids gonna do kids things. But those are, a couple of the situations or whatever.
So you're a coach, you're a mentor, and you're also an advocate. Like, I ain't saying you out here marching and everything like that, but you got to advocate for your players in different situations,
yes,
right?
yes,
So you
most
wear
definitely.
a lot of hats.
Yep.
But how do you take care of you as a coach, especially during the season? And then what does the off season look like as you're preparing?
Yeah.
It doesn't have a lot of expectation during the off season as it does during the season, but it's like, how do you take care of you?
Well, taking care of me. To be honest, 2009 is when I started. I'm just you gonna understand like how long of a journey it's been. 2009 I started coaching. In between 2009 all the way up until now 2025, I've had one break from being a head coach, and that was when I went to Ramsey under Pop Jet.
Wow.
So I was pregnant on the sideline. I came back with a month or so after having Brindley, and I was back on the sideline. So my mental over the course of 5 years or so, cause she 5 years old, shoot, you don't realize how much time and sacrifices you have poured in until you really get a break. And you know what? I realized that me and my husband was talking a couple of weeks ago. And of course, my parents, we talk, and my sister and all that. And I told them, I said, dang, I really feel good about like this shift in my life with coaching, because I really didn't realize how much time was even given until I had to shift into a different season, which was a blessing. Like when I tell you the peace that I have right now, just with my baby about to transition into kindergarten,
Wow.
like God knew and knows exactly what we need. And I already knew that I was gonna get a break. I wanted a break. I had the beautiful thing about when you go before God and you pray, and you know your prayers, the prayers that you have sent out to God. I can remember nights of prayer that I prayed and I said, Lord, just bless me with the opportunity not only to get a break, but to bless me with opportunities to where I'm around individuals that really are appreciative. Not to say that those girls weren't appreciative. It may have been some that weren't. But that's okay because that's their lesson and whatever they get out of it. But for me, it became a peace of mind when everything shifted the way it needs to shift.
Yeah.
And people, it's so funny because people on the outside, they'll be like, well, dang, Coach Sledge, she not over there parking no more. She lost her job over there. I didn't lose my job. I gained so much more than I lost.
Yeah.
And that's the important thing about knowing who you are. Knowing when it's time for you to shift.
Yeah.
Embracing your shift and your season that you're in. Because if God's will allowed it to be done, then it was meant.
Yeah.
God's will has been done. And not only myself, I learned lessons throughout my journey at Parker.
I had a couple of guests that talked about, players being, the foot soldiers of what the culture looks like. But you guys are basically the cornerstone to the culture.
Yeah.
Okay. No matter where you may coach, there's always going to be players that's needed. But it's just not the player that you built the relationship with, right? So there's always going to be an emotional tie to that community, to the city, because you poured so much there. So while you were an architect, especially inside the Birmingham City Schools space, what type of steps did you take to build culture that extended beyond the gym?
I'm big on advocating for female athletes, not because I need clout or not because I want to show somebody up, but because I was a female athlete playing ball, playing volleyball, cheerleading, running track. I was all of that growing up. So once I became a coach, it's only necessary for me to want to advocate and to do everything possible for female athletes. And one of those big things that not only myself did and put together, but Coach O, Nadia, and a whole group of other people, when we did our first media day, that right there, it was just awesome.
Hold on, I think I was there.
You probably was there.
Multiple high schools were there, like Hewlett Trussville was there.
Yeah. Well, it was 2 media days.
Okay.
It was 2 media days, and the first one was at the YMCA downtown.
Okay, I don't think I
by
made
Phillips.
that one.
It was down there.
Okay.
And when I first got to Parker, and it just wasn't in Birmingham. It was all over the state. It was only media days done for football.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. I mean, people can take it how they want to take it. It was only media days done for football. So, when I was in high school, I never had a media day. I never sat at the table and had an interview.
Yeah.
It just wasn't stuff done like that for female athletes. So, I hit Coach O up and hit Nadia up, and I was like, hey, man, I really think that it would be good for female athletes to be interviewed. Let's see if we, can y'all help me put this thing together? And damn, Nadia, she's great at what she do. Coach O is great at what he does, and they really made it happen. Not just for me, but we did that for the city, for those athletes.
Yeah.
And it was a really good media day. And, we end up getting 2 done. And then after that, everybody started doing media days. Coach O helped me with a big tip-off classic. And matter of fact, the tip-off classic that we had one year, most of the girls basketball teams that won state this past year, All of them played in the tip-off classic right at Parker.
Wow.
You know, Coach O and Nadia, man, man, when I tell you they like family to me,
Yeah.
like I'm not only to me but to my baby. I just ordered some sea moss a couple of weeks ago from Nadia, and I
Yeah.
always hit her up because my baby, she loved the strawberry, and I ordered me some, and she sent me a little blessing of the small little jar of strawberry for Brinley. Just stuff like that, man.
Yeah.
It don't get no better than being around people like that, you know. And Nadia and Coach, they done did some great things with me at Parker. Coach O brought in a whole refrigerator. I mean, a whole refrigerator he went and purchased and filled it up with protein shakes, sea moss, and water, and body armor. And the girls didn't have to want to ask for nothing. You just go back there to the refrigerator, get the stuff out that you want. Had a big tub of snacks and protein bars or whatever you wanted.
Yeah.
It was a blessing. I can't complain. Don't have no regrets about nothing. When I say, you know, when you done did right and you done live right, man, you can just smile. You just smile.
And I think you were saying something about just people started doing, you know, the media days for their players and everything like that. And I think that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Because when you think about flipping a culture, right?
Yeah.
You have to consider what it would look like for people to look at what you're trying to build and say, how can it work for me? And I appreciate that for the women inside the sports space so much, especially in the state of Alabama, because it served as a catalyst of what it could be. And even players like Jalen Sherrod, she has something to come back to.
Had a big camp man, Jalen had a big camp at Parker. She didn't have to do her camp at Parker.
Yeah.
But because of the respect that she not only had for Coach O and me, she had it at Parker.
Yeah. And you gotta, how can I put this, man? Because we have a lot of talent that comes out of Birmingham. We've always had a lot of talent that came out of Birmingham. And not discrediting the work that a lot of people do, because a lot of people do some good work. But we have to have meaningful work in creating a framework for when people do leave and create this value for themselves, they have something to come back to. There are young women watching you who want to lead one day, but they may not see you when they come home. They may not see you all over social media, right? So what they see is all these examples of women that aren't you.
Right.
So what can you say to them, since you have their ear? What can you say to them to encourage them, like, hey, like, this is also possible for you?
I would say faith without works is dead. And if you don't put in the work, you can have all the faith in the world, you can have all the hopes, you can have all the dreams, but if you don't put in that work, it's not going to work for you. And that's one thing about me that I know every athlete up under me saw. I worked my tail off. I didn't care who gave me credit. I didn't need no credit. I gave all praise and credit to God for blessing me with the energy, just with the mental energy, just to make it through.
Yeah.
And you know, that scripture right there is what, and the memories that I left with them, I'm pretty sure they have so many memories. They have good and bad experiences. But that faith without works is dead. That's the scripture that they can carry with them for the rest of their life. I don't care if I'm down or if I'm tired. I don't care what it is. If I think about that scripture, I can lay in that bed and hope that, you know, the workout gonna be easy today. Oh, it's gonna be easy. We both have been there hard workouts. But until we get up and get to moving and really work at it and chip away at it, we're not really gonna see how far we can go.
So when you're thinking about transition, because even right now you're inside of a transition, right? When you think about transitions, from the aspect of a high school coach.
Mm-hmm.
Those players that you know did not sign to go play college at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
You see their character because you spend a lot of time with them.
Mm-hmm.
You see their character when they're under pressure from a physical standpoint,
Yeah.
and you also see them when they're under pressure from their peer pressure, right?
Right.
So seeing the trajectory that is right in front of you for their life,
Mm-hmm.
while you spoke life to it,
Mm-hmm.
you still see the reality of where they could
Yeah.
potentially go.
Yeah.
How does a coach deal with that reality of saying, dang, I done believed in, well, I've put in the work. I have faith that I put in the work,
Mm-hmm.
right? I wanted to live, but death is surrounding it right now.
Mm-hmm.
What does a
What
coach
do you
do?
do with it? And I've learned, and that's a lesson. That's a lesson for myself that I've learned on my journey. Sometimes you can give too much to people. You can pour too much into a person or certain individuals, and you're making your deposits, but it's nothing depositing back into anything.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when you have to come to a point in your mind to say, hey, this lesson is not for me. I got to let it go. I got to let it go. And I got to let that individual be at a point to where, hey, they might have to fall on their face and just realize, hey, I don't have no more help. And if they go through the path the right way, they'll understand where their help come from. Because even though they're in high school, you got to remember that they've been given the right tools and the resources. FCA done came in and different individuals done came in. All the resources are there. Whether, it's no excuse. No excuse for different individuals to take something from out of it. And it's just, it's heartbreaking. It's disappointing when you want it more than the athlete want it. But you have to understand that Coach O taught me, I never forget, Coach O tell me all the time, believe what your eyes show you. Like, I can hope for a lot of stuff. For, certain individuals. But I got to believe what my eyes are showing me. That don't mean what my eyes are seeing for right now is going to be like that for the rest of their lives. But for right now in this very moment, what my eyes are showing me, I got to believe what I see. And with me believing what I see, is going to help me determine how to transition out of whatever I need to transition out of. And that's why I'm able to sit here and be at so much peace.
Wow. Yeah, because something like that, but it make you go crazy, man. Like, I coached
It
for
will.
2 years.
It will if you allow it to.
Mm-hmm.
But see, when you know who you are and whose you are, nobody or nothing can break you unless you allow it. And I understand the journey I'm on as far as with my Heavenly Father. I know He got me. He has always had me.
Yeah.
And you got to believe what your eyes show you. I don't care and believe what God is showing you. God may be showing you certain things through different individuals on how to handle different individuals. That's in every workplace.
Wow. So you said believe what your eyes are showing you. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever seen the word what before?
Have I ever seen the word what?
The word what, yeah.
Yeah.
What about the word never?
Mm-hmm.
What about the word sometimes?
Yes.
Okay. So what has 4 letters, sometimes has 9, and never has 5?
Oh my goodness. What has 4 letters?
Sometimes
like
has
a
9.
word? What has 4 letters?
sometimes has 9, and never has 5. You said these. You said you've seen these words before, so don't do that, Coach. Don't stop thinking. You're doing too much.
What? Never and sometimes. That's what you mean?
Is that what I said?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you? What?
I mean, you're. That question kind of threw me off. I'm like,
It's not a
what?
question.
Oh, you're just telling me.
Yeah. What has
okay.
4 letters, sometimes has 9, and never has 5?
What is it?
It's not a. It's not a question. What? Spell what?
Oh, yeah. What has 4 letters?
Yeah.
Never has 5, and sometimes has 9.
Yeah. So what you up there asking me questions?
It's
and
the
stuff
way
for?
it's the way you put it. It made me think that you were trying to set me up for like a trick question or something. I'm like,
I was just having a conversation.
Oh, okay.
That's what we've been doing, right?
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
Man. Oh boy. All right, Coach. All right. But I honestly had a good time today. It opened up my eyes to a lot. I'm because it made me go back to the 2 years that I was coaching. Because there's a lot of athletes that I wanted to take home. It's like, yo, like, your folks 45 minutes late. Like, I know what you finna go back home to. I'd rather take you home since you already 45 minutes. And I was dealing with middle school age kids, right? So just thinking about the high school age kids, because they have a little bit more resources. And what I mean by resources is your age gives you access to a lot more things that can get you in trouble, that can introduce you to things that a 16-year-old isn't supposed to be introduced to, right? So when you see that young lady present as a woman, meaning that, hey, this ain't a 16-year-old, and I know it ain't you, but you a woman right now, and you supposed to be 16. How do you deal with those type of interactions as a high school coach?
You really, it's hard to discipline. I'll say you got to pick and choose your battles. You really have to pick and choose. And sometimes you just got to act like you don't see it.
For real?
Yeah, for real.
So how do you determine what battle to like insert yourself in and which ones to kind of?
It depends on the severity of it. And, you know, what, you just can't look at the situation. You got to look at what may possibly come out of the situation, even if you choose to get involved in the situation.
Yeah.
And sometimes all it takes is, hey, call the parent and put it back on the parent. And let them deal with it.
Yeah.
Because one thing about a child, we all know, if once they get into something, they gonna find every little way to wiggle themselves out of it, to come up with every type of lie it is, and they gonna have it down to the T. And by the time you even try to solve whatever needs to be solved, they gonna already and went to each party or who they need to go to, and text the mama, whoever, and put out their own little version or whatever the case may be. So sometimes you just gotta let it be and don't even worry about it. But sometimes they be so afraid that because you do know about it, that you're going to try to put it out or get it out before they do. So they go ahead and, you know, put out their own little narrative or version or whatever, you know, they going to put out.
Yeah.
And you still, you know, you still don't say nothing.
Yeah.
But those are battles that you have to let them deal with. And even if they get away with it, and you never did even get to come to terms with it or come to peace with it, hey, they'll learn their lesson sooner or later. I mean, there's only so far you can go with it, you know.
Yeah. Wow.
There's only so far.
It always show back up, man.
Sometimes you may see somebody, you know, vaping and stuff is big in high school. So you might see a kid or something vaping or something. Sometimes you just look and don't even say nothing.
Yeah.
And what's the consequence behind vaping? We already know. You know, your lungs may get messed up sooner or later. Something is going to come out of it.
Man, Coach O said this one. Whoa,
What he
but Coach,
said?
man, that joke's so traumatic, bro. Man, it was one time we knew we had Coach O workout. He was running late that particular day, and he used to have this white pickup truck, and bro used to drive this on 2 wheels, blasting music, right? So you hear him coming from like miles away. So he pull up one day. We was at Lawson Field because Ramsey got no football field. So he pull up, music blasting, and we already in practice. We thinking that he not coming because he late.
I know y'all was happy.
So, man, we was celebrating. It was hot
I know y'all were.
So usually when we know we got a Coach O workout, he's coming to the field. That's when we know we finna have a workout in full pads. Like Coach, like no. Matter of fact, let me back up. We might have been short shells, but we had on helmet and shoulder pads. Right. So we celebrating like yeah. Right. We hear him come up, loud music blasting. He get out there. He said, "All right, yeah, we finna get that lifestyle about you now." So it's like, all you done did, all y'all on the age drinking, all y'all staying up late talking to your girl, all that eating bad. He said, everything that you put into your body, I'm about to get it up out of you. So when you was talking about that, I'm like, yo, like, if the coach don't get it up out you, life gonna get it up out you.
Wow.
And when you said that, literally, it brought me back to that transaction I had with my trainer, Coach O, back in high school. Now that. I ain't gonna lie, it was probably me being up all night, but that workout, I passed out. I had hyperventilated, and they put me inside of a trash can filled with ice water. You know what I'm saying? Passed out. I think I got into a fight with one of my teammates because he ain't finished through the line. Like I was one of them players that just come up and just slap you. You know what I'm saying? But just it was situations like that where it's like, okay, had an out of body experience by almost dying out there. But I always remembered that transaction. Like, I literally saw my teammate drink the night before workouts. I literally saw him smoke, and I saw that he couldn't put out what he wanted to, what was expected out of him, and it was immediate transactions. It was immediate doing sports, but sometimes in life, it's not always immediate. So when you're talking about the players, when they're having these transactions, they're lying. They're getting away with it. They're fabricating stories. So they're
not getting away with it. They think they are, but they're not.
So how do you know they're not getting away with it?
Because that's what all of us. Even when I was in high school, all of us done lied before.
But I'm saying,
and some type of way, later on down the line, it may come through, I don't know, a different situation or a consequence. Some type of way, that little lie, it grows and it grows and it grows. And those little lies, you don't get away with it because it's still in here. And it's still in your mind. Nobody else knows, though. So you're still carrying it.
Wow.
You're carrying it. It's not visible, but you carry it. And some of them, they even, some kids, adults, they tell on themselves,
I'm glad you said that because a lot of folks think they're getting away with them lies, man. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
And it's going to show back up even in changed character. Because one of the characteristics of being a liar is that you start believing those lies yourself. And when you're faced with the truth, that lie can't stand alone. Nope. And that's what Coach O always told us, that the truth does not need a cosigner. It can stand by itself. So I appreciate you, Coach. Is there anything else that you want to say, like before we get off, like what you got coming up next, like what's next for you?
I don't want to give too much, but I got some stuff coming up within the next year or two that I'm personally doing on my own. And I just thank God for the opportunity. And I thank God for where I'm at. I thank God for all the growth. I thank God for all the releasing of whatever I got released out of. I just thank God for it all. Because good fruit can't grow. I don't care where you at. I don't care if it's on your job or whatever the case may be. Good fruit can't grow in toxic environments. It is just not gonna grow.
Yeah.
You can't plant. You can't plant on toxic soil. You gotta fertilize it right. So, hey,
That's
thank
good,
you, man.
I appreciate you, Coach. Hey.
One more thing.
Talk to me.
One more thing. And big shout out to my husband.
Yeah, can't forget.
To my husband.
Yeah.
Brerante Sledge. My husband, he gets the Best Husband Coaches Award because he has seen it all. He has never said one word. I don't care whether it was social media attacks.
Yeah.
Everything. My husband never said anything. So, besides giving all honor to God, my family, my parents, and my husband Brandon, hey, I thank God for them.
That's amazing.
Yep.
Thank God for your community.
Yeah, and my brothers, Coach O and Coach Billy, I thank God for them. Those are ride or die brothers.
Yeah.
They ride or die.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's good, man. Hey, we all heard it here, man. Flip the culture. Where the culture won't change until we do. Jeez, well, I get tongue-tied sometimes, man.
Switch it up. Come on.
Dang, man. God. All right, man. We're going to see y'all next time. See y'all.